Hello everyone, today we are going to watch The 5 Wealth Killers by the Money Guy. Let's see what he's got to say. I did a video like this a while back, and this is going to be interesting for me to see what he's got to say. If you like this video, like and subscribe. If you want more videos like this, put them in the comments below.
It's not hard to find a YouTuber talking about America's #1 wealth killer. Graham Stephan, Humphrey Yang, George Camel. It seems like almost every personal finance creator has one. But the fact is, there's not just one thing keeping people broke. As a financial advisor, I see all kinds of financial traps out there that slowly drain people's bank accounts. So what are they? Are they holding you back right now? Guys, I am so excited because today we're gonna expose America's top 5 wealth killers and how to avoid them so you can build real generational wealth. The first wealth killer on the list is something that is all too common. It can make it nearly impossible to build wealth. I'm talking about credit card debt. Almost half of all credit card users are in debt, and the average American household with a credit card balance owes $6,270. If they're paying the average interest rate of 24.2%, that means that they would be paying $1,517 per year in interest alone. And for many people, it's much more than that, which is why this is such a huge wealth killer. Those monthly interest payments eat away at your paycheck, leaving less money for saving and investing. If you have credit card debt, eliminate it as quickly as possible. Mathematically, it's better to pay.
Okay, so he's talking about credit card debt, and yes, all these things we already know. People who have lots of credit card debt, they do not know how to manage it. So how do we fix it? Is basically what I would want to say now. There are other credit cards out there that give you 0%. So put it on another credit card that is 0%. Some of them do charge a 3% upfront fee, and then you stop using it. And then you start budgeting and you try this for a year or two until you start figuring out how you're going to get out of this debt. That's a start.
Pay off all the debts with the highest interest rate first, but some people want to pay off their debts from smallest to largest, hoping it'll give them some motivation to keep going. Whichever method you choose, get rid of that high interest debt and steer clear of it from now on. The next wealth killer.
Another way to do this is if you have a home, not that I condone getting more loans, but cutting down on that interest rate. If you have a home with equity, maybe a HELOC, that may be able to help. And now you got to learn to budget so you do not fall back into that credit card trap. And if you can't pay it at the end of the month in full, the whole point of having a credit card is being able to see what you spent it on and look back and say, oh my God, I can't believe I did this. I went out so many times about all these things I don't need. I order all these other things that are really not making or adding to the value of my life. So looking and studying what you've done is a good thing to have a credit card and then paying it at the end of the month, every month.
On the list is dangerous because it can sneak up on you and you might not even realize it. And we see this one all the time. You get a raise, but instead of increasing your savings rate, you upgrade your car, you get a nicer apartment, or maybe you just start eating out more. Your income goes up and your spending goes up right alongside it, sometimes even faster. This is what we call lifestyle creep, and it's our #2 wealth killer.
I agree with him. I do also have to say there's been a lot that the increase, the inflation that we've had in the last few years it's really been rough, and it's hard for a lot of people to really get there to that point where they have to manage. If you've lost 3, 5, 10%, depending on where you live, you've gotten this inflation that is coming through and attacking your wallet, and you're not even realizing it. So we do get raises that do not keep up with inflation. And then he's right. Then our lifestyle, we get this feeling that we need to have more. And the truth of the matter, we're working out there. We're putting every day. We're working hard. We're trying to get a better lifestyle, but just got to be careful with that race that seems to be that it's saving you when sometimes it's barely keeping up with inflation. It really didn't make that big of a difference on your bottom line.
On our list. This one affects people at every income, including those that even earn 6-figure salaries. According to a report from Goldman Sachs, 40% of those making over $500,000 say they're living paycheck to paycheck. How do you avoid falling into the trap of keeping up with the Joneses? Well, one way is to automate your investment so that a portion of each raise goes straight to your investment accounts before you even have a chance to spend it. Another practical tip we love is to follow the 60-40 rule. Whenever you receive an income boost, allocate 60% towards savings, with another 40% going towards lifestyle. It's a balanced approach that lets you enjoy the rewards of your hard work while still making progress towards your ultimate financial goals.
I like that, but it all depends on the size of your raise, on the percentage of increase. Got to look at those things first before you can really make any decisions. Got to look at where your lifestyle, where your debt is, before you can do the 60% of your raise into savings. I like it, but I'm not sure if it's going to be exactly what you can do. Every person is going to be different. So you need to analyze that.
Next up, buying too much house. Home ownership can be a great wealth building tool when it's done right, but when you stretch beyond what you can afford, it can become a wealth killer. According to a Harvard study, 1 in 3 households are cost burdened, spending over 30% of their income on housing. That is a record high. And 21.6 million are spending more than half of their income on housing. When housing eats that much of your income, there's less to invest, there's less for emergencies, and there's less to live on. The house ends up owning you. So here's how to avoid this wealth killer. Follow our 3-5-25 rule for housing. On your first home, you should put down at least 3%. Plan to live in the home for at least 5 years to reduce the odds of ending up underwater on your mortgage. And lastly, keep your total monthly mortgage, that's principal, interest, taxes, and insurance.
I think it's a good plan. I don't really think 3% is good enough. Yeah, and that we don't all have and more than that. But if you don't, that tells you probably shouldn't even be buying a house. You probably should be waiting until you have a larger down payment to make that monthly payment lower. And I see this a lot. People move into a house and just closing costs will be $15,000, $20,000. Then 2 years later, they're back out, they sell it. They may make their money back, may not. It all depends on the time of the year and where real estate is at. And then we get into these payments every month that if we stayed longer, you're capitalizing. So if you're buying a home, my suggestion is it should be a minimum of 5 years. You're going to be there 5 years. Otherwise, don't even get into it. Put it into something else that you can invest better, that is going to give you a higher yield. Because by the time that you pay closing costs, by the time that you pay closing costs to sell, closing costs to buy, that it really adds up. Before you know it, it's $30,000 between the two of them. And that you're going to have to recoup if you want to sell the house, just to break even.
At or below 25% of your gross income. This might mean that you need to adjust the type of home you're looking for, but remember, a starter home that keeps your finances healthy will always be the dream home that leaves you broke. The fourth wealth killer on our list is brutal because it isn't something you do, it's something you don't do. And that is waiting to invest. There are all kinds of reasons this happens. You might think, okay, I'll start investing once I get my raise, or maybe the market feels too uncertain right now, or maybe I don't know what to invest in, so I'll just figure it out next year. But waiting to invest can be devastating to your retirement because of compound growth that you're not taking advantage of. Our wealth multiplier shows that every dollar invested at age 20 has the potential to turn into $88 if left invested until retirement. By the time you get to 25, that wealth multiplier has been cut in half to 44 times. Every year you wait, you're giving away compounding that you can never get back. So no matter how old you are, get started as soon as you can and let the financial order of operations be your guide for when and where to invest. Even if all you can do right now is $50 or $100 a month, just do something because it will make a difference. Wealth killer number 5.
In this investment strategy that he's talking about, yes, he did not mention many of us have the ability to get into a 401k or some kind of retirement plan. And that's probably, if you can't do too much of anything else, that you probably should be maxing that out as much as you can. That is a form of investment, pre-tax, future for the future. There's options eventually to maybe borrow against it, depending if it's a 401k, depending on the plan that you're in. But investing, start somewhere, the earliest you can. Absolutely. The earliest, the better. The older you get, now you got to go into more conservative investments that will yield a lot lower returns.
get-rich-quick schemes. In 2024, Americans lost $5.7 billion to investment scams, and that's a 24% increase over 2023, with the typical victim losing over $9,000. And that's only what got reported. But it's not just the illegal scams that cost people money. It's pretty much anything that promises crazy high returns in a short amount of time with minimal effort. This might be meme stocks, crypto schemes, even online gambling.
Too good to be true? It probably is. I've got clients who have gotten into this, wanting to get this huge return. And I mean, $9,000. I've got clients that have lost $100,000, $200,000 to this. Some of these people probably can afford to lose that money. I mean, I don't know if I would want to lose that kind of money regardless how much money I have, but must be careful, must watch what's going on in the markets. If you want to invest, be informed. Don't just hand your money to anybody that just shows up and tries to get your business. And go with very legitimate companies that have shown a trend of time, that have been around a long time.
Gambling or sports betting. These get-rich-quick traps are one of the most reliable ways to destroy years of hard-earned wealth. So don't take on crazy amounts of risk to try to chase the hot dot. Instead, embrace the boring. Consistent investing over time is how most millionaires build wealth. And low-cost, diversified index funds held over decades beat the vast majority of active strategies. Get rich slow is the way to go. But here's the deal. In addition to those 5 wealth killers, there's one more.
I know nobody wants to hear that. Everybody wants to get rich fast, right? So you play the lottery or you do some of the gambling things, or maybe none of those, none of the above. But that's the whole point. Nobody really gets rich fast overnight unless you win the lottery. And then you're unprepared because you don't even know what to do with that money. But that is another story. Bottom line is, I agree with him. Go slow. That's why when you're young, the younger you are, it's easier because you don't get to put that much money. You start with a little bit.
Thing keeping people from building wealth. And you could argue it's actually the root cause of everything on the list, not having a plan. Think about it. People end up in high interest debt because they have no plan for their.
So here goes the saying, lack of planning is planning for disaster. He has definitely a point.
Spending. They fall into lifestyle creep because they have no target savings rate. They buy too much home because they have no framework for what home they can afford. They wait to invest because they have no clear next step. And the data backs this up. Only 36% of US households had a long-term financial plan in 2024. This is exactly why we built the Financial Order of Operations. It is a step-by-step system that tells you exactly what to do with every dollar in the right order, so that way you never have to wonder if you're making the right call. For a deeper dive on the food, check out this video to learn more about the wealth building plan that could change your life. And as always, keep building towards your great, big, beautiful tomorrow.
Okay, so very interesting, the 5 wealth killers. There's just so many options. Every person, every individual, every business is different. And they have to make their own choices. They have to make their own budgets. But the guidelines and the basics always remain the same. If you like this video, again, like and subscribe. If you want to see more, put them in the comments and I'll do more. See you next time.